All right, and we are back, or we're on. Haha. Hey, everybody on Twitch, thanks a ton for tuning in. We are going to be doing some Midnight Runners family business tonight. Cyberpunk Red, starting Chapter 2. We took a little bit of a hiatus there after the end of Chapter 1. You know, we had that big session where the Midnight Runners were taking on S Platoon. Went in, raided the base, went in to blow up the truck, successfully blew up the truck. Mayhem ensues, all kinds of stuff goes down. And this session is 3 or 4 days later after that went on. And you can probably hear some background noise. I actually have all of the folks that can play tonight on Discord audio, so we're going to be hearing them speak kind of throughout the evening and discussing what they want to do next as far as the Midnight Runners go and what we're going to get up to into Chapter 2. So, in the last session, the team completed basically a long campaign to rescue Chromoxy. Chromoxy is another nomad family that is down in Night City building an arcology. And they've been harassed all chapter long from S Platoon, and at the end of that session, they sufficiently weakened S Platoon and gave them enough local enemies that S Platoon is no longer a threat to the arcology's construction efforts. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about the fallout of some missions that were not addressed and what has happened there, kind of figure out what the family wants to do about that. And we're going to figure out the family budget, because the family has earned quite a lot of cash. And, you need to either invest that cash or do something with it. So they're going to talk about where they want to put the family funds in order to improve what they got. And so we're going to talk about that stuff too. There's a couple other tasks that are going to end up going to the NPCs just because we don't have enough time to go through all of the things the family needs to take care of. And so that'll all percolate in throughout Chapter 2. Before we get too far along, though, I wanted to mention that tonight's stream is going to be sponsored by Legend Keeper, which is a huge partner of ours. We're huge fans of them. They do great stuff. Tonight, we're going to be looking all at Legend Keeper. Everything that you see will be in Legend Keeper, and it's kind of how I'm tracking the game and how I'm tracking everything that's going on. And so at the break or at the end of tonight's stream, we'll be giving away a license for Legend Keeper, and it'll be freaking awesome. Yeah, loving the chat. Guys, I'm watching the Twitch chat, and I'm also watching in Discord. So if you are a subscriber to High Shelf Gaming on Twitch, you have access to a special channel called Longhouse, which is the channel where all of the family decisions are made in this game. And so as we go through the night, anybody who's not in over voice, you can definitely make your voice known in the chat room Longhouse on our Discord. And so as we get going, please, include your voice in there if you're not in the phone call with all of us. If you want to join the phone call, that's super awesome. Once you're in Longhouse, you're able to then see the Longhouse audio room in Discord, and you can join that and have your voice heard. There are a couple of people that are going to be championing ideas, and so they'll get first round to speak, and then we will kind of divulge to a conversation and all that kind of stuff throughout the night. Let's see here. Other announcements. I'm David, this is High Shelf Gaming. We're a podcast. We Twitch stream. Gen Con, we're going to be at Gen Con doing lots of cool stuff. Lots of gamer hours, all of that good stuff. We're super pumped for Gen Con. Fingers crossed Gen Con still happens, because we have a lot of plans for Gen Con. Meetups and game days and all kinds of stuff that we're going to be doing. So as we get closer, we'll be talking more about Gen Con and all of that stuff. Other things that we're working on here at High Shelf Gaming. After this stream, Monday nights, we stream Tales from the Loop. Katrina puts on that. Katrina, say hey to everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah. So she runs that game, and a lot of the players that are in this game are also in that game. So thank you, Katrina, for running Tales from the Loop for us on Monday nights.
My pleasure.
Anything else you want to say about it? Like, how's it going?
I think it's going really well as the DM. I think we're having a lot of fun. we're solving some mysteries, and maybe my players can say something. I don't know.
Yeah, good stuff.
I enjoy it because I get to be a kid again.
Yeah, a kid in the 80s.
Especially in this crap, a kid in the 80s. It's a great time right now.
Yeah.
Someone who was born in 1996 being a kid in the 80s is something else.
Having no reference other than what you saw in the movies. It's
no point of reference other than movies and music.
I mean, I was born in 89, so I'm going off.
Yes. That's good. Perfect. That's the right way to play the game. And then also we've got on Wednesday nights we play Blades in the Dark, which is put on by Mike, who's playing Dexy in this game. So Mike, dude, thanks a ton for running our Blades in the Dark game on Wednesdays.
No problem. Enjoying it.
Yeah. It's going super well too. Like, we just had a giant fuck up, which was great.
You killed people.
Was it a mess up though?
I mean, we didn't get the right bomb of the 3 we needed.
We killed Bob. We killed him.
Yeah, we did do that. We did that really well.
That's like a significant story step or something like that, right? Like big things happen. Maybe
Yeah.
not what you wanted, but big.
Yeah, exactly.
Relish it.
Exactly. So yeah, super excited about all that stuff. And then just to let everybody know, on May 1st, we're going to be doing a charity stream. We're going to be raising funds for, oh my gosh, what is the name of the foundation? I'm so bad at this.
You keep talking, I will look it up.
Yes, please do. So on May 1st, we're going to be running a Traveler game. A member of the community, Patrick Canoose, who's been on the show a couple of times. Patrick's going to come on and run Traveler for us on stream. We're going to be giving away a ton of stuff. We're going to give away subscriptions to Roll20. We're going to give away Legend Keeper licenses. We're going to give away dice from a couple of dice manufacturers. We're going to give away a signed copy of Traveler from Mike Miller himself, like the guy who made Traveler signed a book and sent it to Patrick so we could send it to you. So we're going to be giving away a lot of really, really cool stuff on May 1st, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, and it'll be a great time. It's going to be this like really cool sci-fi, think like Star Trek meets, I don't know, role-playing games, but it's not Star Trek. It's, spaceships and all that good stuff, but it's a lot of fun. We actually ran a Traveler game here at High Shelf Gaming. I don't know how Patrick's version or take on Traveler is going to be different than my own, but I'm really looking forward to that and getting to raise some funds for the foundation and give away a bunch of cool stuff to everybody who's going to be there to donate some money. And we're gonna donate a couple of different ways. Do it based on donations. Do it based on viewership. So bring your friends, bring your wallets if you can, all that good stuff. It'll be a really good time. Just fun all around. I think we got Rich on task to do some Christopher Walken impressions throughout the stream, so it'll be all right.
Can I pay
we are
to avoid that?
Yes, you could pay money to take away a Christopher Walken impression, and you could pay more money to put one back in. What was it, Katrina?
We will be fundraising for the Carcinoid Cancer Foundation.
Carcinoid. See, I knew it was something different. Carcinoid cancer is a very hard to detect cancer. It is often misdiagnosed. So it's one of those things that raising awareness that it's even a thing is important on its own. And then, of course, raising funds for the foundation is super critical. And they're all on board with this. They've never heard of role-playing before. They've never heard of Twitch streaming before. But we pitched them the idea, and they fell in love with it, and they're putting a lot of energy behind it. So we're really, really excited and fortunate to get to do this. And it's going to be a good thing. May 1st, 7 p.m. Eastern. There you go. Was there other comments that I cut off? Okay. I'm going to take that as a no. Let's see here. Oh, thanks for the host, friends. Super appreciate it. And let's see here. Firefly, Star Trek. Yeah. That's a really good way to put that in chat there. That it's a lot like Firefly meets Star Trek meets whatever role-playing stuff you want to throw in there. They've got like weird like man dogs called Varger, and then they have like cat men called Aslan. It's crazy. It's an interesting world. And so let's see here. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of our stuff. So, like I said, we're about 4 days after the event, the last session, where the crew or a group of the Midnight Runners went to take on S-Platoon. It started off well enough, made some local contacts, got some movement on a couple of things, and one of our players made a play for a gun, didn't go so well, but everybody got ready to take on S-Platoon. We had sniper cover, we had an entry team going in through this back way, this tunnel entrance into the S-Platoon fire station. And after that, the wheels started to come off. And it got pretty desperate. Everybody got split up. For a while there, I think all of the players were alone, which has never happened with me before. I've never had a game where every single player character is alone. And that was kind of scary for me as a GM, quite honestly. That was a crazy moment. And you all made a play for it. You bombed their water supply. You killed a big, huge, fat guy that we've since learned is a very important leader at S-Platoon. We blew up their truck. We cut off their underground escape method. But in doing all of that, it didn't come without cost. During that mission, Blue Lotus, she passed on. She got shot a lot. And actually, a lot of people got shot a lot. I think at the end of that session, almost everybody was pretty close to dying. And Blue just didn't make it coming out of that scene. Everybody put in all they could to try and save her. We left the town and came back to the Midnight Runners to kind of lick our wounds and try to understand what the fuck just happened. And it was an intense session. A few days have gone by. People have been recovering, recouping. Some of the fallout of that has started to come to light. For one, S-Platoon is basically an open war against Detroitus, which was the stack of shipping containers that people were living in across the street. That open war lasted for about 2 days before Detroitus, the inhabitants of Detroitus, just moved on. They all got kicked out of their homes, but during that war did a lot of damage to S-Platoon. They're across the street from each other. It was super easy for them to take a lot of pot shots at each other. And so that war raged for the following, day and night, and then night again. Ultimately, it's seen that Detroit has lost that fight, but frankly, S-Platoon is too weak to really be a player in Westbrook, Night City anymore. There are still some of them left. There are still a ragtag group of leaders that are trying to rally and, reform S-Platoon, but they are significantly weakened right now. I think what the biggest piece of fallout that comes from all of that is, not only did a major player in that town get taken off the board, but also some of the folks that have been hunkering down get to flex again. They get to come out of the woodwork. And so Westbrook is becoming a very different city now that the scourge of S-Platoon is, at least for the time being, at bay. With the passing of Blue Lotus, her brother Silas asked that she be cremated. And I'd like to get into what happens there. Not with the cremation, that's weird. But to get into the memorial service, just a little bit. Benny is the kind of family contact for all the Edge Runners. He's the one that runs that group or gives you all your missions and all the things that you're up to. And as part of the Edge running branch of the Midnight Runners, it's his responsibility, really, to make sure that handling of Blue's effects was in order. So, Katrina, can you kind of quickly describe for me Blue's maybe not last will and testament, because I don't know that Cyberpunk Red really has that kind of stuff. But did she have a napkin that wrote down like where all of her stuff goes that Benny knew about? Like, where does her stuff go to?
Yeah, everything would go to Silas. Regardless, she left with Benny a message for Silas if she were to pass on,
Oh, cool.
which was given to him privately
Sweet.
for him to respond as he would.
Awesome. Oh, that's good. Okay. So yeah, Benny handed that to Silas, probably while Silas was laid up in traction, getting his arm safely amputated and all of that stuff. So, Silas, you have lost your arm, my friend.
Yep. It was just the good one. It was just the good one.
It was the good one. Was it your left arm?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's great.
Perfect.
So so at the memorial service, there's a couple of things that happen. One, members of Chromoxy are there to pay their respects and to give thanks. Mono is there, and a couple other folks that maybe y'all have seen around before from Chromoxy, but they're like old hands at Chromoxy. They showed up to pay their respects and to kind of break bread afterwards. But I have a couple of things that Benny's going to say. Ethan, does Silas have anything that he would say?
He would definitely say some stuff. It wouldn't be particularly eloquent.
Okay.
But
fair.
he would say something.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you wanted to impart some of those messages, now would be actually a good time if you're okay with that. And then I'll have Benny speak, and I think that would wrap up our memorial service.
Yeah, so I think Silas he's dressed what he thinks is nice,
Mm-hmm.
Which is just like, it's clean instead of being covered in desert dust.
He's washed his clothes.
He's got like pomade in his hair and has it like kind of slicked back instead of just 4 days since it's been washed kind of thing going on.
Mm-hmm. Somebody trimmed up his beard a little bit.
4 days, but now it's got grease in it too, so that makes it better, I guess. I don't know.
It's shaped.
Yeah, it's shaped. It has a shape, which yeah, and he's got like the whole bandages covering like his left side and just really covering that arm or the lack thereof. And it's definitely like awkward, right? Like he's super uncomfortable and not really in the mood to talk. It's very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But he'd kind of just get up there and say, "Well, y'all knew Blue and how she was, and I definitely say I'm proud of her. Let's just y'all. Let's make it worth something." And then that'd be about all he had in him to say.
Okay. Good. So when Silas goes to sit, probably somebody gives him a hug, kind of thing. And
he only has one arm to fight that off. So
yeah, so it happens.
I would be the one they would give him.
There you go. Yeah, Vinton gets up and gives you a big bear hug. So Benny kind of speaks out, and there's most of the tribe is there and all that kind of stuff, and Benny says, out of the Edge Runners, Blue was unique in that, and just to describe Benny real quick, he's in he's in a suit jacket and pants and all that kind of stuff, but he's been a nomad a long time, so they're frankly kind of torn up. But he looks nice. He looks nice for Benny. Looks pretty well put together. He's got a white collared shirt on and all that good stuff. And he says, yeah, she was unique amongst the Edge Runners. And she will be deeply, deeply missed. My understanding is that the folks over at Chromoxy have put her name into somewhat of a memorial. They have lost some folk. The security detail has lost some folk, and we lost Blue. And her name, along with some other names, is something to do with chemicals or alloys, but their names are going to be permanently fixed to the structure of the arcology. And as the arcology ages, their names are going to become more and more apparent as it bleeds through by some metallurgic methodology where their names will seep through the wall and be unremovable without taking out superstructure for the arcology. And she will have her own place on that wall, and their folks will be grouped together, and the security folks will be grouped together, and by that means the statics who eventually are going to inhabit that arcology are always going to know the name Blue Lotus, because to remove it would be to remove the arcology itself. The other thing I will say about Blue is that she was the sort of person that always put the family first. Now, I know that her passing is painful and that people will say and do pretty nasty things whenever they're hurt. And I understand that. I understand the tensions have been high and people are maybe a little more apt to do something they ought not to and be brash and that sort of thing. But I'm going to ask you all to do what she would do, put the family first, at least for a time, until some of the healing can begin. And I think with that, we should all kind of take a moment and go about our business. And then Benny steps down and kind of lets everybody be quiet. Yeah. After a little while, someone gets up and leaves because they've got some job they've been needing to do but wanted to pay their respects. And kind of after that first person goes, some more people filter out and that sort of thing. I would like to give just a second for all of you. Anybody else want to say anything or do anything during kind of that moment? I just want to kind of open it up and let anybody respond, and then we can move on to the official family business.
I think I would walk up to Silas Vinton, and he would look at him and be like, I will do my best to help find any information that might help you out in your crusade. But I am going to heed Benny's words and keep the first.
Ain't nothing else to do, big man.
But when you're ready, I'll be there. Then after that, I'll walk out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Question. Or two questions. Since I was in the first chapter, am I still kind of at the funeral?
I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe not. Maybe Samurai wouldn't be there yet. I don't really have an opinion on the matter.
Okay, because if I was gonna see if the body was cremated yet or not, or if it was like an open casket, and I was gonna put a Blue Lotus on there with her, so when she got cremated.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I would think that she would already be cremated. It certainly would not have been appropriate to do an open casket. I don't think that the tribe has like a good embalming thing. But still, like leaving a Blue Lotus with her ashes would be super appropriate.
Yeah. So if I'm there, I would like to do that.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. Anybody else?
I think Dexy would probably linger longer than like he's definitely not trying to leave to get back to work or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think he would linger there a while longer and still wear a leg brace. But he's probably at a loss for what to actually say to other than just like trying to express that he's upset over what happened.
Yeah.
Where is the funeral being held?
Probably, like, frankly, outside of the tents, right there in the campgrounds. You know, they probably just said, you know, like an alert on everybody's radios or over the PA system, like, hey, anybody want to go to the, you know, for everybody who's planning to go to the memorial, we're going to do it, you know, in 30 minutes. And, you know, folks just put down what they were doing and headed over, kind of thing.
I think Ta would probably be not at the funeral, but like outside in front of his like little lab area, kind of like looking down and then kind of muttering to himself, just kind of replaying everything that happened over in his head.
Yeah. I would imagine that you're not the only one who isn't quote unquote at the memorial, but is very nearby the memorial, you know, because, you know, she meant a lot to a lot of people, and people are going to respond to that in different ways. So that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So good stuff. Katrina, thanks a lot. Blue is an awesome character, and I'm really glad that we were able to go there with that, and I know that her actions and passing in this game is going to mean a lot going forward. So just, you know, GM to player, thanks a ton.
Player to GM, thank you for letting it happen, and I look forward to the stories that we're going to tell.
Yeah, that's going to be good. All right, so on to family business. I think the first order of things should be, let me look at my little script here. I have it in my head that the first thing we should get into is the Chromoxy update and all of that stuff. Silas, are you good to go? I'll kind of give the spiel of what's going on with Chromoxy, and then Silas can kind of pitch what his plan is.
Yeah.
Okay. So Chromoxy, because of Splatoon's great and weakened state, is full steam ahead on arcology construction, and they foresee needing more building materials quickly in the next you know, really this week. They're going to need some new materials. There's some things they can do without those materials, so they can delay maybe another week or so before they're going to have people with just nothing to do. So there's some busy work and some prep work that they can put everybody on, but with a quickness, they're going to need more steel, more, you know, gravel and all that kind of stuff to make cement and all the things that you need in order to build a gigantic structure. So the Chromoxy folk have ordered a shipment of steel across some heavy freight lines. And those freight lines, that train, apparently made it into California, but has not made it all the way to Night City yet. And so those materials are available. They're out there somewhere, and they are along Highway 80 is the heavy freight line that brings in this material is really coming from Indiana and way up the way up in the Midwest. And all that stuff traveled by rail, and the thought is somewhere in the Tahoe National Forest, that train was stopped, and they need someone to go up there and either free up the train and get it moving again, or if it's been, you know, completely derailed or stopped or what have you, to gather up all the materials they can and bring it down. Because it was a significant haul, much more so than what, you know, the Midnight Runners would do in like a single trip. So that's the ask from them, is to effectively, if Midnight Runners is willing to, either sojourn up there and do some missions up there, or relocate up near just north of Sacramento in the Tahoe National Forest, and try and find out what happened to that train, secure the area, and bring all those materials down so the arcology can continue. And with that effort would come a significant purse. But that's the ask, and I'm couching it this way because this would be a significant change for the family, and it would shape up all of the missions for Chapter 2, because the majority of them would be happening up around Sacramento and not around Night City. So I'm going to kind of pause there. And any questions, Ethan, that Silas would have that I can add clarity to before you have like anything else you want to say?
So this, so we're moving up to north of Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And that would be just until we could get all of those materials sorted and then go somewhere else.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. So
come back.
Yeah, so effectively there's a huge cache of rolled steel and I-beams and all kinds of stuff way up north by Sacramento. And it would be the ask that the Midnight Runners finds it, secures it, and gets it back to the arcology, either on your trucks or by rail, whatever means you see fit. By boat, they don't fucking care, just so long as it gets back to them. But it'd be a significant endeavor to undergo and take on.
Yeah. So I think my thoughts on it, and probably Silas's as well, would be sort of the balance or the decision between kind of abandoning anything we currently had going on here, because I know there's still some loose ends and like people's backstories and stuff like going on here, like their word on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but also contributing to moving the arcology forward, because I know that Silas would definitely have a very personal interest in that thing getting done, if that makes sense. Right.
Yeah. So what would you have some things to balance there. Sacramento would not necessarily be a permanent move, but how quickly you were all able to succeed would have a huge impact on when you could get back and follow up on all those backgrounds and words on the street and all that kind of stuff. Now, if we go to Sacramento, you all would just get different words on the street, right? There would be different rumors that applied to all of you based on where you're located. So it's not like there would be nothing for the individual characters to contribute, but it would be very different. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And just so the stream understands what we're talking about there, because this is a West Marches game, every player, their character knows some secrets or something about their area that nobody else knows. And it's, rumors or, ideas about like where caches are and all that kind of stuff. So that's, I think the thrust of your question there, Ethan, is that like, when we go up there, are we, one, abandoning all the existing rumors, and two, will there be new rumors for everybody to have? And I think my answer is most of the rumors don't really have timers. And so it's okay if they come back, then it's not like the rumor's dead. It will have just evolved in some way. But there will definitely be new rumors for all the players. And I, as a GM, just want to know which ones to put in. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Silas, his vote or his position would be to go to Sacramento.
Okay.
Simply because that is going to lead to the arcology getting finished sooner, which is something that we have a vested interest in, and also would get us more resources ourselves. Like the more we work with Chromoxy, the more materials we have to work with, the more money, the more resources, and things like that.
Yeah, and
plus we got a little heat going on here, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to get out of town.
Just mosey on out of here. There is another thing to kind of consider, is that the Midnight Runners are a nomad family, and that's the smallest nomad unit. And you're friends with Chromoxy, and you're developing friendships with some other families. But you guys as groups, as families, don't yet have enough sway to even be your own tribe yet. And so the political structure of nomads is there are nations, which you guys are not a member of. And then within those nations, there are clans, which you guys don't have a clan that you're a part of. Clans are made up of a number of tribes, which you're not a part of. But then you have families. And so the lot of you kind of throwing your lot in with other families does strengthen all of these families. and long term could mean that you're big enough to have your own tribe because you will have accrued enough other families that you're allied with. You could have your own tribe. Maybe you join a clan. Maybe that clan joins or makes a nation. So definitely, bolstering them is not necessarily selfless. There's also a long-term vision that you guys, as a pair of families, could be creating something bigger for everybody. So that's I just wanted to kind of put that out there for everybody to think about, that this could have some really long-term impacts if we continue to bolster Chromoxy.
Yeah, I think he stays sort of, even especially considering that. I think his position is to go.
Okay. Any other details you'd want to put around that? Any we all go, or would he try and entertain some sort of Splitsville thing, or anything like that? Like, what would his main strategy be? Full commitment from Midnight Runners, or just the Edge Runners go, or something along those lines? What would his kind of big idea center around?
The big idea would definitely include maintaining our current position. Either the Midnight Runners personally, or have Chromoxy move some people in as sort of like, we'll watch it while you're gone kind of thing.
Sure. Not
like having a full camp up and running, but like at least having, like, making sure no one else moves in.
Yeah, keep the place warm for us, kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty like house sitting.
Yeah. Okay.
That's something, because it's a pretty nice location. Like, it's a good place to build a camp.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be irresponsible to let that go and to let somebody else have that.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So that's the main idea, is that the family in large goes. Maybe the family leaves some people behind to keep this place secure, or Chromoxy antes up some folk to keep the place secure. And certainly if you're going to go up there, they would want to do that. They'd want to, put in something to make it palatable for you guys to go and take this on for them. So, okay. Good stuff. Anybody on this call or in the Longhouse chat room, anybody have other suggestions, or I don't want to change the whole idea, but bolt-on ideas, or like little tweaks to this plan that you would like to see?
I do have something. Knowing that this sounds personal, after my character being kind of still so shocked with what happened, he's agreeing that we leave people, maybe some of the older people, children, and try to get Chromoxy to bring a security detail out while we're gone, to kind of keep because it sounds like more like this is going to probably be an active combat situation.
Yeah, sounds dangerous.
Being that Vinton came from the Midwest, I-80 was the main way he came in with his tribe.
Right.
And he has knowledge that is not the safe. That's a mountain range.
Right.
Basically where it stopped at, a very big mountain range. And
right.
it would be unwise to bring the entire family, especially the older folks and the children, with us. So more like the bulk of young men and women, edge runners, combat, that kind of stuff, our med team, but keep basically the civilians behind.
Okay. Cool.
The people who stay at the camp most of the day. And then also adding on that, I could probably talk to his father and see, once we get it secured, if he can't secure a couple extra trucks to expedite this whole situation, because we're all flatbed family. Our entire family is, so steel hauling is our specialty.
Yep.
So maybe some cash their way.
So you've got some people you could bring. Good stuff. Okay. Cool. So that's the idea. Any other detail adds that people want to throw in there? So right now, plan is the vast majority of folks goes up to north of Sacramento to solve this problem, with possibly leaving behind all of the soft targets, so that they're safe here. Chromoxy will protect them. And but the folks that can fight, the folks that can run the camp and all that kind of stuff would all go up. and help deal with this deal with up in Sacramento area.
Yeah, I think just the idea of a tighter camp
Mhm.
in
Yep.
general, just like less extra people, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. Any other notes? Any other tweaks?
I think Todd would have two questions. Is one, how long do we think they'd be up there in like the Sacramento area?
Yeah, unknown, right? The ask is to move a whole lot of steel. And if you guys did it on the trucks that you've got, based on the numbers they're giving you, that'd probably be like 5 trips on the trucks you've got. Now, Vincent mentioned he's got some contacts. He might be able to bring on some more drivers and that kind of thing. So maybe you could do it in fewer trips, but it's a trainload of steel and other materials, so it's a significant amount of stuff to move.
Okay. And then Todd would probably say, "What about the boar coming looking for us?"
Right. Yeah. Big question. Right.
He doesn't know it's us yet, and one of Vince's things is it's like we should just take that bag of crap and drop it off at that gas station and say we're sorry, like just write a note and never speak of it again.
So dealing with him, that's definitely something to put a pin in, because this big strategy would not really be changed by what we do about the Borg and the stuff that you guys have taken from him. Because you would want to solve that whether or not you're leaving, right? Or address it or not address it, either way, right? And so that's good to know, but I don't think that changes the thrust of the plan.
No reason why none of us can't come back down and take care of problems.
It's true.
Yeah, yeah. It's not an insurmountable distance. It's just a longer distance. Like there still might be reason that someone might have to go to Night City. It just takes a while. It takes a couple weeks instead of a couple hours.
Yep.
So.
Okay. Any other tweaks to the plan before we get into voting? Okay. So let's see. Your plan is to head to Sacramento, leaving soft targets behind. And I like to do the whole emoji voting. I'm obsessed with it. So
it works surprisingly well.
Yeah. So let me toss up some yeses and nos. Where are the? I'm really bad at finding. Okay, here we go. So thumbs up for yes, and thumbs down for no. Let me get the thumbs down real quick. Okay. So
this whole nomad family's built on emoji voting.
Yes. So in the Discord here, I'll bring it over so the Twitch stream can see it. In the Discord, we've got let me Highway 80 Sacramento. So we're going to be, they ask us to go Northern California, which technically we are already in Northern California by the old maps, but either way, we're going to go further north of Sacramento into the Tahoe National Forest, which is where the train is believed to have been stopped. And based on everybody voting in here, let me just make sure I'm actually on stream so you all can see it. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of this whole emoji vote thing. So just people voting up, voting down on this. Yep.
It's serious business when the emojis come out.
Yeah. Oh, in chat, asking about scout missions. Yeah, I would think that one of the very first missions that I'm going to be putting in here that the players can choose to take on would be the scouting mission. To, scout out a place for the tribe to camp, one. And then once the tribe has found the best place to camp, then scouting missions to discover what's going on and then, get lays of the land and do odd jobs and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there's definitely going to be a scouting mission to work on. Cool. So
sugarcane on the last scouting mission.
It's true. Yeah. Y'all still have some sugarcane. I rolled that into the largesse of things you guys get to spend money on later. Okay. This is looking like it's going to pass. I'm going to keep that vote open kind of for the rest of the night. But yeah, good stuff here. So, anything else on this one before we move on into the next one? All right, cool. This is exciting. I like doing it this way. How's it? We've done the first one. How did that feel for everybody? That method.
I like it.
Good.
Okay.
Good to me.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like I didn't want to let too many voices come up with ideas. And then it's like, is this a good idea and everybody likes it, or is it a bad idea and nobody likes it? Then we move on. Okay, so the next one up is going to be, I think it's Bigfoot Tribe. So let me move my stuff back over here. Got a little script up. So, Bigfoot Tribe, all the shit that went down there. Yeah. So if y'all remember, in the very first session, Vinton made a tentative alliance with the Bigfoot Tribe, and or made contact, made some friends over there, and made sure that they got half the loot from a big boat that everybody scuttled together. And so y'all got half the loot, they got half the loot. And we basically wandered around with Chapter 1 trying to figure out what the heck we're going to do with this crazy stuff that we looted. Some of it was sold to gangers inside Night City. Some of it was given out to some town. And the rest of it was actually sold back to Petrochem, who originally owned it. And that went sideways. But y'all got the money. So that's all that matters.
Sideways is an understatement, good sir.
Yes, exactly. So Bigfoot. Bigfoot got hit by Petrochem. Petrochem tracked down where their gear was, especially the big walker, the big rumbling walker thing. That y'all got one, they got the other, and Petrochem tracked them down and hit them with, a high intensity asset recovery team, is what we'll call that. And happened in the middle of the night, and the Bigfoot Tribe really got smacked hard. A few of them died, a bunch of them are wounded or injured. All of the Petrochem stuff was taken, along with probably anything that was super interesting that whoever the hitters were thought they should take. You get the impression from Bigfoot Tribe that it wasn't all Petrochem employees that did the hit, that it was some private contractors who stuck around for a second to do some additional looting before they moved on. The Petrochem guys showed up with like VTOLs, those big vector thrust vehicles with guns and shit on them. Very rare to see VTOLs these days. But they showed up with heavy gear. And then there were these obviously private contractors that took the job. And so between those two groups hitting Bigfoot Tribe at the same time, they couldn't sustain that, and they got schwacked. The immediate response to that all happened kind of the same time you guys were on the job against S Platoon. The immediate fallout for that was Dexy, your girlfriend E, has gone to be with Bigfoot Tribe to try and save as many lives as she can. At the time that she made the decision, late night on, the late night, that same night, there was no major casualties. There was nothing really crazy going on. And she got the word that they were hurt and in trouble. It was secure again. There's no more bad guys, but there's all these wounded that need help. So she immediately, got onto some motorbike with some medical supplies and headed up there to try and do what she could to help out. And as of today, she is still there. But the Bigfoot Tribe is asking of the Midnight Runners to give them a safe place to stay, or something to help them get back on their feet. Because right now they're dead in the water. They really can't leave where they're at because of all the damage that was sustained to their vehicles, and they really can't stay because they don't have enough supplies to make it through this situation. So they're in a really super fucked position, and they need whatever help y'all can give. You would imagine that they have other contacts as well. So if you decided to give them nothing, it's not like it's a death sentence. It's just, you would lose this political opportunity to help them, or a humanitarian opportunity to help them. So yeah, that's the position that Bigfoot Tribe is in. They're really in a bad way. Does Vinton have any other questions for me about Bigfoot Tribe and their ask or any of that kind of stuff?
Do we know if the guy that I made the deal with, Principal, is he among the casualties or is he still alive?
Yeah, Principal is wounded but alive. Yeah.
Okay. And you said most of so like we would have to go up there and bring them back, right? Or do they have means of getting down to at least where we're at?
Yeah. I mean, it would be a long. You kind of get the impression that they don't have a lot of vehicles in working order, so you could send like Mailbox and his crew to patch up their stuff and let them move themselves, or you guys could move them, right? There would be there'd have to be some way to get them mobile again, either by y'all's hand or by some talent that you send their way to get them mobile again, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, am I good to?
Yeah.
My idea.
Yeah. If you don't have any other questions, hit us with your idea.
So this kind of goes back into it. For me personally, I feel like this seems like it's somewhat my responsibility because if I remember right, I was contacted right before the platoon to try to help, but obviously we were dealing with, and so he kind of feels responsible, especially after seeing the so-called strike team at aggressive acquisition recovery from Petrochem. Not a joke.
Yep.
So he would feel compelled to bring them to us because now that we're looking at sending people up to Sacramento, up into that area, it would probably help. It would strengthen our ties with another family, which that's what we need to also consider. It strengthens our ties to the north because that's where they're from.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of in the north. We're kind of split in between both north and south. And more importantly, it's the right thing to do. I mean, we're bad guys, but we're not the bad guys either. So it's like we need to extend the hand. We have, I believe, the means to support personally. And again, it gives more guns on the ground here while we go up there, and maybe more guns to come with us if they're willing to help out. It's in my mind, a win-win.
So
we get people to protect the camp, and we help them out.
So would to give the big idea, like broad strokes, the strategy here would be the Midnight Runners very quickly, because we looks like we're going to head up to Sacramento, but the Midnight Runners would go up there, gather the Bigfoot Tribe, and move them and their materials to your camp where it is right now, and let those that need to recover, and if there's a handful of them that want to go with y'all to Sacramento, you would extend the hand to invite them to join y'all going up north.
Yeah, the kind of help them get back on their feet as well, because the more help we get, the quicker we can get this done, the quicker we can get back down to handle down here.
Yep.
And the biggest thing is that it strengthens our ties with another. It's just one more loop in the chain to make it that much stronger.
Yep.
If you get one.
Yep, I get it. Okay, cool. So that's the big idea. That's the plan there. Anybody on the call or in the Longhouse chat have tweaks, things that you would amend to that plan? And again, we're not going to change the thrust of the plan, the main idea, but any little tweaks that you want to add into it to make it better for you or what have you.
I had a question.
Yeah.
Todd would probably wonder if we would get the anger of the strike team towards us for helping them.
So to go back, we settled up with Petrochem already. So this would be Venton telling, because you wasn't in just yet. We set it up with them, and we gave them their stuff. Now, for as far as they know, They got their stuff, and then somebody came along and jacked it from them in a very, very loud and dangerous manner. We bugged out before. I mean, well, pretty much all the Petrochem people died. We took a cred chip, but
Right.
as far as they know, we did our job.
Yeah, it was suspect, but I mean, in the footage that they watched and all that kind of stuff, it's obvious that it wasn't the Midnight Runners that hit them.
Right.
And there's a couple of questions I see in the chat about, like, would Petrochem continue some kind of vendetta against Bigfoot Tribe or anybody else like that? Odds are no, because Petrochem got what they wanted. They wanted their shit back. For y'all, they had to pay a little bit of money. And for Bigfoot Tribe, they spent a little bit of money on a strike team. But they got their stuff back, and that's what they wanted. So unless Bigfoot Tribe did something else to ire Petrochem, Petrochem really doesn't have a good business case to go after a nomad tribe again. Now, obviously they have the means to do that, but it's not in the budget, is what I'll say.
We're so small, we are so far underneath. Not a problem to them.
Right? So, yeah.
Who cares if a couple dirty tribes want to help each other out? That's how they're seeing it in their ivory tower. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
So, Ta, I hope that answers the question, and I hope we answered the question here in the chat. Any other questions or tweaks to the main plan?
This is a good question. I know I'm speaking grandeur here, but somebody in the chat Katrina brought in the chat, do we have the means to support that people? I know we got paid and we got the budget coming.
Right, sure. So it's more that you guys definitely have the means to move these people, right? You can move people and equipment to your camp. And your camp is not in the woods of some, mountainous area. They can get supplies from Night City, especially if you're already talking about leaving behind some of your some of your softer folk that take care of a handful of things and do a little bit of logistics and that kind of stuff. So it would be feasible, is what I'll say. It's feasible that they could stay in your camp and be taken care of by the Midnight Runners that would have been staying behind anyways, based on the earlier plan.
Anybody else?
Okay.
I'm open to ideas. I'm just a truck driver here.
No, it's good. It's good. So let me put into the thing. We'll do another. Let's do another vote here. Plan is to move Bigfoot Tribe. Not tripe. Whoops. Bigfoot Tribe. Bigfoot Tribe. Or I should say family. They're not a tribe. Family to Midnight Runner camp so they can recover. Also invite some to join you all to Sacramento.
I can't spell it.
All right. So there's that, and then let me toss up the emoji votes. Upsies, downsies.
Just to confirm, these votes are in character, not out of character for what?
Correct. Yeah, these are all in character. This is what your people would want, and to help justify all the good folks that are sponsoring us, and also in the Longhouse chat, I'm giving them their family members within the tribe, and the family members also get a vote. But I'm kind of saying that. There it is. Yeah, that's a good point, Vinton, that this is not a permanent position for them. This is hey, while we're gone, since we already wanted to keep this place warm, why don't you sit here, recoup, and keep this place warm while we're out of here?
Right. You said it before I could finish typing. Awesome.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to leave this vote open for the rest of the day, and just so everybody in the Twitch stream gets to see it, Yeah, so we again, emoji voting is the best form of voting for me, anyways. So plan,
Democracy.
yes, plan is to move Bigfoot family to the camp. Also invite a couple of their gunners to come up with you guys. And that one also might pass. We're gonna leave that one open. There's a bunch of people in that chat room that would all get their votes in. So though it looks like it'll pass, we still have some time before finals, final tally. But all good there. Okay. The last thing is the family budget. That I wanted the players to get into, and then I'll do all the NPC updates, talking about some of the other tasks that we just didn't get to as part of this meeting. I kind of feel like taking on the family budget we should do after a break. What do you guys think?
Here.
Sounds good.
That works for me.
That's a good idea.
Okay. All right, good. Then yeah, so chat, we're gonna get to see the large ace of the Bigfoot tribe, or not the Bigfoot tribe, my apologies, the Midnight Runners, and start to decide where they want to put more money in so that to improve the family and what the family can accomplish. Where this has come up in the past is, if you remember, they will go and ask me for a vehicle, and I would say, okay, cool, let's roll a d10 and figure out what cars you have available, and you had to meet or get under the vehicle pool rating for the tribe. Well, this tribe is poor, so the vehicle rating was 1. And so a lot of times they didn't get the vehicles they wanted because there just weren't a lot of vehicles that the tribe had available to it. So this next bit after the break will be deciding, do we get lots more vehicles? Do we get a much bigger armory? Do we get more, informants? What do we want to do? We have all this money. How are we going to spend it? And that's going to shape the tribe going forward, and that's going to shape the types of missions y'all get, right? Because when you dedicate more money to some types of things, that's going to unlock different types of missions because the tribe will be better informed or worse informed if you want to go down on some of these budget items. So we're going to do that after the break. Let me pull up. I want to give away a copy of Legend Keeper, and I'm going to work on logging in to make that happen. Katrina, Ethan, do y'all want to talk about Legend Keeper for 2 seconds while I get this part done?
I can talk about Legend Keeper.
You're way better at Legend Keeper than I am. Do it.
That's whatever. Legend Keeper is a great tool. It works like Wikipedia and Google Maps all in one. You can have a map. You can pin a bunch of things to that map. All those pins can link to articles. Those articles can link to other It's turtles all the way down. It's awesome. We love it. Everybody here uses it. You should use it too. We're going to give a giveaway. You're going to win it. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's
And
way better than any bullshit I could have come up with.
Whatever.
I was literally getting ready to start playing commercial music.
yes,
I was like,
yes, it's good. It's good. 1 second. Let me get the rest of the way logged in. I love multi-factor authentication, except that it's slower. There we go. I feel like our keyword tonight is family. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
yeah.
What just happened there?
Does it
Okay.
This is going to YouTube too, right?
No, it does not. So that's a really good point. Everybody who's on YouTube, you're going to want to move over to Twitch, or, High Shelf Gaming, twitch.tv/High Shelf Gaming. Toss family into the chat, and that'll enter you in to win a beta key to Legend Keeper. Legend Keeper is very soon to not be beta anymore, which I'm super pumped about. The guy who makes Legend Keeper quit his full-time job, and he just makes Legend Keeper full-time now, which is so freaking cool. So yeah, toss family into the chat, and that'll get you entered in to win. And when we get back from the break, we will give away that beta key. So we'll be right back after this quick break. All right, and we're back. Back with Legend Keeper, doing some Midnight Runner family business. First off, let me move this and fix this. There we go. So this is our Legend Keeper wiki, where we keep the whole game. And I don't think I have any of the... Yeah, okay, good. I don't have any of the hidden stuff. Okay, good. There were some things I have, like... This is the GM view, and so there's some things that are grayed out that nobody else can see, and I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have them, like, uncollapsed, so that, you know, y'all can't see the titles of shit you're not allowed to see just yet. All right.
Get your giveaway.
Yeah, exactly. So, first off, let's give away our Legend Keeper thing. Dude, Samurai, you're gonna win. I feel it in my bones. I'm gonna stop listening.
Never know. Could be high shelf gaming.
It could be. Oh my fuck! What? How am I allowed to win? No, Samurai, I'm gonna shoot you up a thing. Send me the email you want them to know. So I'm gonna message them, let them know that you won a copy of Legend Keeper. So hey, congrats on winning your copy of Legend Keeper. Give me the email you'd like, because that's going to be the one that lets you in. The way they do their security is once you get the invite, once that's done, you can just kind of get in, and you via your email. So shoot that to me over Discord, I guess, and I'll get it to
you. You already have my email, so.
Oh, so the same one I have under your character?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my gaming/business email for my Twitch.
Awesome. Perfect. Then greatness. We will get all that done. Let me get back to my notes, get back to the thing. Okay, greatness. So, family budget. Whoops. Player organization. There we go. So the Midnight Runners, obviously founded by Snitch Rich, Trace, and Dr. Weiss. And we go on down to the budget. So Vinton and Silas were both kind of raised their hands, saying that they were interested in looking at budget and deciding where to spend funds. The family started this game with, an obfuscated amount of money, 15 points worth of money to spend. And that's what got them through last month. So things like maintenance, garage, repair bays, that kind of thing. They only have one repair bay. The amount of armory that they've got, living spaces, communications, all that kind of stuff was enumerated before the game began. And so the last several games, which y'all have seen from the tribe, what it's been able to do, has all been based on this kind of availability. So, like, let's say, Vinton, your plan was with the Bigfoot tribe to just absorb them. Maybe your big idea was, we're going to absorb Bigfoot tribe into our tribe and, be that the pitch. And then I would have looked at this and said, well, y'all need a lot more physical, like, living spaces to accommodate new people coming in from Bigfoot tribe. Just to give you a sense for, like, how this budget of resources changes what all y'all can accomplish in the game. And there's other things in here, like part of the family's decree is that no one can have explosives and no one can have automatic weapons. Well, part of that is because the armory is a tent and the security is like a flap of plastic or whatever, canvas. So it's not, they really can't have super dangerous weapons on base because it's not in a locked room that's super easy to secure. So the armory being a rating of 1 has an impact on what the family is comfortable allowing. And other things like research, engineering, y'all don't put any resources towards that right now. The family is not inventing anything new right now. It's not building anything crazy. That's not y'all's billet. Your billet is transportation and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of explains the budget here. Casey, Ethan, do your characters or you have any questions about this budget before we get into it?
I guess my one question is power, like, is there like a power requirement as well as like a maintenance requirement? Like, if that like we didn't have enough living spaces to absorb the Bigfoot tribe, like, will there be a point where we don't have enough like power infrastructure to build something?
Yeah. So power is tracked a little bit differently than maintenance. Like at the top, I've got the maintenance kind of thing sorted out to say that for every 10 budget points you're putting in, one of those points or an 11th point needs to go towards maintenance. Just because when you have more shit, there's now more things to fix, and so you have to spend some amount of your monthly income on fixing the things that you got, and all that kind of stuff. Power is a little bit different because not all of these things need power, right? And so that tracks a little bit differently, but it's going to be kind of the same thing. So if y'all said, look, we're going to put a lot of resources towards scouting. Well, scouting doesn't necessarily need a bunch of extra power. But if you said, well, we're going to put a lot of resources towards medical, well, that might need some power because now you're not going from like a gurney and some like loose medical supplies, but maybe you have like a surgical suite, or maybe you have a surgery robot or something like that. And that needs that needs real power. So the power is on a different track, and as we allocate stuff, we'll just kind of have to look at it and say, well, I think this would validate us bumping up from what we got, which is some, local solar panels, a couple of windmills, and some batteries. We don't really have a ton of power here, but we don't need a ton right now. Excuse me. But as you guys go to invest, we might look at, well, maybe we do need to add a little power here. And that'll be, at least right now, that'll just be a discussion. Because I think that we can all look at it and be pretty understanding that, okay, this is a big add, so maybe the power doubles or something like that, and we can kind of talk it out.
Gotcha. Honestly, I think the easiest way to do this, would be to just pick the things that we want to upgrade and then put the points into those things, but narrow it down first.
Yep.
So that there's kind of, we can see what we're working with.
Yep. So I'm going to add a couple of columns.
Yep.
1 second. I'm going to insert a couple of columns. And
I'm sorry. I was about to say Rune Weaver had a good question.
Oh,
about gathering for better jobs.
Yeah. Like information gathering, so like contacts out there and that sort of stuff, so we can get better quality jobs.
Yes, absolutely. So let me save this. So the communications is one way to have better comms. You overhear more shit going on, and then the other way is at the bottom, scouting, of just having more people in the tribe dedicated to scouting, that kind of thing. That will unveil us of loot caches that they come across or rumors that they come across. Also, we could add another row and just say, straight up local fixers. And it's like, we're going to dedicate money towards paying fixers to bring us high quality jobs. And, definitely we can add things into this budget that we want to put money towards. So, yeah.
Well, on the fixer front, we already have contact with a couple of locals in Night City that we can try and then sort of fund money to get good quality work. But we're about to head out of district, so it's kind of like not yet.
Right.
But to further the point, I was just also going to say, maybe it's worth looking through this and go, well, what can we do without to sort of cut down that list as well?
Yep. So, Ethan, why don't you take the center column there, and Vinton, Casey, why don't you take the right column and just kind of put in what you guys are thinking in terms of where you'd want to put funds. Does that work for you guys?
So would that be the final value, or how many points we want to spend in each?
Let's do additional points you want to spend.
Okay.
So there's the base values here. If you want to go down on one of them, just put a minus -1 or -2 or whatever it is you want to do.
God.
While you guys are doing that, we're really kind of stress testing Legend Keeper here, because I know we can do all this kind of stuff in Google Docs, but apparently Legend Keeper lets us all live edit the same document. So we'll see. We'll see what it says.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Just for what does an extra one look like when, if we went from a garage of 1 to a garage of 2 or 3? What does 1 point kind of look like?
Right.
So we have kind of crappy cars before.
Right.
What will 1 point look like?
Yeah, exactly. So that the garage specifically, when you go asking, hey, can we get a car? You roll a D10 to find out if they have that car, and you need to hit or go under the garage value. And if they don't have it, you got like some jalopy thing or no car, right? So one is just making it so that it's more likely that they're going to have the kind of car you want. But also it'll mean things like, they've got access to more interesting vehicles, right? And when we get up there, maybe they don't have just ground cars, but they've got boats and a gyrocopter or something like that, or really high end. Maybe they end up with like a VTOL or something silly, So yeah, it's definitely one of those things that right now it's kind of amorphous. But this is our first time doing this as a family, and so kind of once we get in here, I can go through and start really detailing out. It's like, okay, y'all spent a bunch of money on these things, and now the camp looks like this, and now the garage has more repair bays that are bigger, so y'all can do more stuff and all of that stuff. So there's going to be some thematic stuff, but there's also going to be a lot of material gain by investing in some of these things.
Do we want to put stuff in living space for the Bigfoot family as well?
So the offer was not to absorb the Bigfoot tribe. So currently you don't need to add any living space for them. But if you all as a family said, getting bigger gives us a lot of things, then yeah, you're going to want more living spaces.
Yeah, because I also see, it says plan to move Bigfoot family to Midnight Ranch camp so they can recover. Also invite them to join the Sacramento. I was thinking also invite them.
Yeah. Yeah, so they wouldn't be joining the family necessarily. They'd just be hired guns with y'all. What was that, Vinton?
Do we have to spend every point?
No, you don't have to spend every point. Anything you don't spend would carry over into the next month as just unspent treasure that y'all could allocate next time, kind of thing.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Can you do us do me a favor and put header rows for what the previous points were and who Ethan is and who Vinton is in this?
Yeah. Yeah. So sure thing.
Also, what we're putting in the columns is what we're adding to that, not the final value.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
I suggest we put something for power for the medical as well. Because if we're upping our medical, we should up our power for the medical as well.
I mean, that depends on if it's like power intensive equipment or if it's just better and more plentiful supplies.
But we're also looking at potentially upping communications and that sort of stuff. So that may actually need additional stuff. And as the netrunner, I'm kind of disappointed that nobody's prioritizing digital security. But hey,
Wait, did I not?
No, not yet.
Hold
not
on,
yet.
wait.
Oh, it didn't save it.
Oh, it didn't save it. Oh, whoops.
Yeah, no, I just lost a bunch of stuff I put in. Actually, I don't know what happened.
Oh, I wonder if all three of us can't be editing at the same time. I bet Legend Keeper's really upset with us right now. We are finding limitations in our application here. Okay. Let me. Why don't both of you save close? How about we just take turns? So both of y'all save close. Let me know when you're out.
That is.
Oh no, my thing just hit. So item current Silas plan Vinton plan. All right. So then I'm done making my edits. Ethan, why don't you redo your edits?
Okay. Let me try to remember where I put everything. Probably should have planned a little better. Okay, so I'm missing 2 points. Okay.
Good stuff. Yeah, I see those points showing up.
Is that all of them? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What am I missing? Oh, there should be one in digital security. I don't know why it drops like.
Mine shows one in digital security. Do you have one else in?
I'm still showing 11 points.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't showing up on mine. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing 11 now. Okay, good. And then Vinton, is your plan all good?
We put 11 points, my friend.
Awesome, cool. So y'all are going up another notch. So we're going to have to take away one thing at least for maintenance because you're going up to 26 total. So think about which one you want to drop down by a value of 1 so you can pay for the extra maintenance.
I would suggest we drop the research, because what research are we going to be doing? We're in motion, we're moving around places and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so that could be, this is something that like you're telling the NPCs, hey, I want y'all to be doing something in this regard, right? And so now it's not y'all spending your personal project time getting something done. The family is doing it because the family's putting treasure towards that strategic goal of build us this thing or research this thing or what have you.
I fixed mine. I just dropped a point from armory.
I'll drop a. Well, I got 3. So, because what do you got at armor?
Right now we have a 1. I want to go up to 3.
Yep.
Yeah, and I already put a 3, so I can take.
Hold on a second. So, Vinton, I'm seeing you at 5.
Yeah, the number.
Have I got too many?
Yeah.
Hold on, I might have to.
It's all good.
Okay.
All right. So, and Silas, you did.
There's 10 now because I took.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And so the 1 would go towards maintenance. Okay, cool.
Wait, actually put that. I can just put that in the maintenance column actually.
Okay.
That should.
Perfect.
It shows up in a second.
Maybe I'm sorry. How many points am I off?
I think you're off by like. I think the medical and scouting is.
Right.
I think you don't have enough for either of those 2. Let me double check.
Right.
Basically research, medical, and scouting. All of those are too much for you.
Okay.
You scroll on your Twitch. Can you scroll a little bit? Because I can't see scouting at all.
Yeah.
Let me edit that.
So the total for new points then is 11 points to spend.
Yep.
New stuff.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, and because we're going up another notch of 10, then one of those 11 actually goes towards maintenance. So effectively, y'all have 10 points to spend on new shit. But I'm already kind of liking what I'm seeing. So I think, like on the whole, looks like y'all are sick of asking for vehicles and want better vehicles and better armory all around. Communications, I could see some good discussion there around the differences. Physical security, yep, that makes sense. And then medical, scouting. Let me catch you up here, Vinton.
No.
Okay, you still got a little more to go.
Well, I'm just making sure I'm still good money. Why did engineer not drop off?
So we'll pretend
it like lags.
Yeah, it does a little bit. So we'll say no to engineering, right? We'll just know that you're not going to do anything there.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, there it is. It caught up.
Okay.
So 5, 10.
That could be easily my internet too.
No, you're all good. So Vincent, you're still off by 2. Do you want at least from what I see? So what I see on your column, 2 into garage, 2 more or 3 more into armory, 3 more into communications, and 2 more into physical security, and then 2 more into scouting.
Scouting,
yeah,
scouting.
So with the top 4 at physical security, you're done. That's all the points you've got.
All right, then scouting is not an issue for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that we don't need the armory that high. If we could drop the 3s in communications and armories to 2s, then we can give at least a point to engineering, so we can actually start fixing some of the stuff we come across.
And making some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having the tribe do that. Okay. So
he does make a point there, because we do come a lot. Like, I'm kind of getting tired of spending like every other time down fixing my truck.
Yeah. Oh,
adding armory or guns to it.
yeah,
Maybe
yes.
if you stop getting shot at.
I would love to, but David likes making that a target.
It's big and red. It's so we're black now. It's like so easy to see.
David loves to make that a target.
I might not shoot at it so much if y'all didn't shoot from it so much.
I mean, it's armored like a tank, so
Yeah.
I like it to get out.
Yeah, so and actually that's a really good point that like the garage, we could also say, well, the garage having additional garage resources means that your truck specifically gets faster repair and there's more time to do like basic stuff to it. But if y'all want fancy shit onto it, like turrets and all that kind of stuff, that's going to be engineering resources. Or if y'all want to do like, hey, tribe, take care of all these cybernetics that we keep finding and get them cleaned up and made for us, or do something like that, that could also go to engineering, right? So yeah, and basically the way this is gonna fold out, just so y'all know, the system on the engineering side is, I know that when we look at our cybernetics planning, and I'm just gonna go bring the downtime calculator over. Y'all always decide, hey, my character is going to work on projects, or my character is going to work on training, or my character is going to be on a mission, or what have you. If y'all add into engineering, then I'm going to add columns in here for the tribe engineers. Those folk and those resources are all going to go towards projects. And y'all can detail, hey, this engineering column, I want them to be working on these things. And, that becomes another group decision point, because you all kind of have to agree how you want the tribe to do that work. But you can basically say, hey, this big project we want done, I want the NPCs to do that. And I don't want my character to be slated with that work every day. Does that make sense to you guys?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Shifting a point out of armory into engineering, I think, is a worthwhile spend. Because I know myself, I spend a lot of time working on the tech side of things, and just to have that extra time would be great.
Okay.
Todd just wants a better lab for himself.
Ta.
I swapped mine up a little bit.
Okay.
To kind of reflect what people have been talking about.
Okay.
I dropped down to 1 in armory. Well, it popped back, but I dropped down to 1 in armory and put 1 in engineering.
Okay. Yeah, so that would impact that the armory has, better, more secure lockers, and maybe it gets its own, protective box inside of it. So in the armory, you might be able to keep, fully automatic weapons or something like that. They still wouldn't be comfortable with explosives with that level of security, but they could at least bring in some SMGs and assault rifles and that kind of thing.
It's above 10th level now.
I know that we're on budget, but I do have a question about the policy. What is the family feelings on leaving weaponry in vehicle?
So they don't want automatic weapons in the camp at all, because it's very hard to know that every time you pull the trigger, you are only hitting bad guys. And when you have families around, that's a big problem. So the way I've been handling it is that in your truck, they don't really know that you have a fully automatic weapon in there, or the assault rifle in there. And so you've been passing it around, but it always ends up back in your truck, and I've been watching that, right? So if one day it ended up in somebody's footlocker, well, that would have come out in the tribe. But since it always ended up in your truck and the tribe hasn't ever seen it, it just kind of hasn't come up.
Is there a pitch, being as armored as my truck is, that it would be okay?
That it is the armory. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. You still loan out your truck to the tribe every so often, so maybe that has to stop. Things along those lines. Because then it's like, okay, well, that's also a room that we need to make sure that we always control access to, and that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
I have an idea for my next project. Continue on. We'll continue fooling people. Everybody, anytime I give you a gun, make sure it gets back to me.
It's
All
just
right.
the automatic gun.
Right.
All automatic weapons must be returned to the person who lended it.
Yep. You
Well,
got
I mean,
Did y'all
if
remember to
we
turn
up,
in your essays before you left? Somebody.
and if we upgrade our army to where it's okay to have automatic weapons, we should be fine then.
right. Yeah.
I
If you get
changed
your
mine.
armory to a level 2, which it's already at a 1. So if either of you or both of you add another level to that, then it's going to be secure enough that they're going to be okay having automatic weapons on camp as long as they're in the armory, right? And it'd be your gun, you can go in and get it and all that kind of stuff. But, there's going to be a person there that can stop an intruder from getting in there and getting access to that weaponry. If y'all add another layer to the armory, then we can start talking about things like small grenades, like handheld grenades, that kind of thing. Not like C4, but like, hand grenades. And so to just give you guys a sense of how the armory security scales and what then becomes a little bit more possible for the tribe to take on. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of okay with how I dropped it down and I put mine because that seems to be the thing that a lot of people are talking about. And it would be nice to, have some cool stuff working on cybernetics, stuff that we don't necessarily have to go to Hitchens or find a new person to get it worked on.
Yep. Yeah, and in chat, there's a couple of questions about wouldn't Mailbox know about the stuff. And, Vinton was real good about always being there to fix up his own truck. So there was never really a time when Vinton said, hey, tribe, take care of my truck for me, and, no worries, it's all good. Like, you never did that, right? So it never came up, just for the chat's benefit, just because folks were asking questions.
Nobody really touches.
So we're all good there. Any other notes or comments on the stuff? Do we need to add any rows? Is there anything in here that is not covered by what Silas would want, Vincent would want, what y'all would sway them to try and add?
I mean, I liked your idea of the fixers.
I do, and maybe we don't have to do it with this budget meeting, but I do like the idea of putting more fixers that are not fixers in our own family on the payroll.
Yep.
Yeah. So I like the idea of the
because we
fixers.
know Hitchens, we know Wild-Eyed Turkey. I know he knows somebody that hauls military equipment. I would like to find that person as well.
Yep.
So it's like, it would be a nice thing that it's like, all right, now they're on the payroll, maybe they'll lose.
Yep, absolutely. So informants and fixers. So currently there's a 0 in that. And the idea is wherever the family goes, right, that's where these resources are going to be available. So if we go up to Sacramento, the family is just going to start putting resources towards the local informants and fixers. And, that would bore out into different missions, higher end missions, maybe more contacts in town, that kind of thing. That's not necessarily handled by all of your personal connections, because you all, as individual characters, you all know some of these people, like Hitchens, right? That's a contact that Dexy brought out of his character's backstory, right? And that's how we know Hitchens, and that's how Hitchens is involved here. Hitchens would not necessarily get any money out of the informants and fixers. Hitchens would just be off the roleplay that we've already done. So this would be kind of outside of that. This would be like yet unnamed fixers and informants that the tribe just by default is always going to spend some kind of resources towards feeding them so that the tribe gets something. And then I filter that to you all through the tribal postings that come up, and maybe y'all say, hey, don't we know some fixers? Haven't we been paying some folks? We need to get a hold of somebody. Sure, the tribe knows these people, and they can get you in contact with them, kind of thing. Does all that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry, I was reading the chat. Katrina put...
Yeah.
And then I started...
Yeah, I think I would. Frankly, Silas doesn't really care about digital security. The more I think about it, because he doesn't do that.
Doesn't understand it.
So So I think if there's a fixers and informants option on the table, I think that's where that point would go instead.
Okay.
I'll get you next time, Jamie. I got you.
Oh, you know what?
And
Actually,
it's like, what computers do we really have to?
Yeah.
Like, how much
mainly security
tech?
of the comm system and tapping into that sort of stuff, because
Yep.
I reckon it'd be easy to knock off the comm system, and to once you've got access to our comm system, you could cause us a lot of trouble.
so
It's a lot of
That's
ham
just me.
radios and stuff, though, right? That's
was
not necessarily.
so it's. I mean, y'all almost had a bunch of really high-end comm systems. If y'all had held on to that comm system and somehow kept it from Petrochem, I was gonna be like, y'all's communication just by default went up to like a 5 because you had satcoms and all kinds of stuff, right?
Make me feel like a scumbag.
I'm just saying, like y'all, like actually, your medical was gonna start tonight at a 0 because y'all had been spending so many medical supplies that it was just out. But then y'all boosted like 7 or 8, like
Yeah, we bought all those.
medical kits and just brought them back to the tribes. Like, oh well, fuck, man, the tribe's back up to a 1. You can't. You can't.
But
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, that's right. Y'all bought it. You didn't boost it. Yeah, you bought it.
Mhm.
yeah,
So
we're
yeah,
classy criminals.
there are some things that y'all have already changed. You've already affected this budget based on what y'all have been doing in game.
Cool.
So yeah. Yep.
This is outside the budget. I don't know if it's appropriate, but now that you bring that up about Petrochem, we know what happened to Bigfoot. What happened to the town, or is that not known?
Oh yeah. So at the end of this, once we get this done, I'll just wrap up the rest of the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll know. No, fear not. We'll talk about it in a second.
I don't like the way you phrase that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has a way, right?
Yeah. Nor should you.
Man.
All right. So are we good on the budgets? Silas, Vinton.
Yeah, I'm good where I'm at. I don't want to put any
Same,
more
unless
time in it.
anybody has.
We could yay it or nay it and move on.
Hold on a second.
Same.
4.
Unless it is
Okay.
popped.
Vinton, I need
Am I
to.
off again?
I think your communications needs to go down.
Okay.
I think
Just,
that's the
down
thing.
one, Yeah.
Because 4.
That's why I drive a semi.
You have enough room for communications of 1, or physical security, scouting of 1, that kind of. The reason why here's the deal is that I keep neglecting to tell you, you're gonna have to burn one of your points towards maintenance, towards
Gotcha.
care and feeding of all the stuff you just bought. So sorry, there is like 1 little tax in the thing, and so you really only had 10 points to spend, not 11. My apologies.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I knocked down physical security.
Okay. All right. Cool.
It's not showing it, but it's 1.
Yep. No, you're all good. So that is good
Can
stuff.
you see all my points in the right spot, David?
That's your 3, 4, 5.
God.
Yes. Because you've got 1
Right.
towards the informants, 1 towards
Yep.
scouting,
Mm-hmm.
2 more to medical, 1 into engineering. Yep. Okay. I see all that.
Yep, looks like those are right.
Okay. All right.
I can't see the title of the informants.
Oh yeah. Somehow
line,
that's.
but
Oh, I bet Vinton, are you editing right now?
Yep. Sorry. Give me
No,
a
all
second.
good. All good. Once you
All right,
save out, I bet
I'm
we'll get
out.
to see it.
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'll wait for everything to update. I'll just do a quick refresh. That. Nope. Still hasn't updated.
Same
All
here.
right.
Yeah. Casey, what did you bring communications down to?
I didn't take communications out. I took personal security
Okay, gotcha.
down to 1.
Gotcha.
You're gonna have to edit that because for some reason I got kicked all the way out of Legend Keeper.
Oh no. All right. Oh good. I think we're in a good place. So I'm going to post up in the Longhouse. So back on the Longhouse, we're gonna do another emoji vote here. So budget plan. Silas's proposal. Versus Vinton's proposal. and see a screenshot.
Alright, so there's some on both of them. Like, let's say there's some on Silence's that I like, and there's some on Vinton's I like more.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to pick. You're gonna have to just say, all right, I'm gonna go this one or that one. And the reason we're doing it this way is, frankly, because I don't want to see 15 different budget proposals and then we like fight forever. I just want, all right, we got 2 choices, and y'all pick. And
AKA, we don't want to be Congress.
Right, exactly. So let me grab the screenshot real quick, and I'm going to toss that in there. Silas, will you pick your emoji? And Casey, will you pick your emoji? So Silas is the green gun. Yes.
Yes.
How do I pick it?
You came up with that awfully quick there, Ethan.
Yeah.
I would already
Well,
thought
I
There has
about
to
it.
be a little truck in there somewhere, right?
There's got to be a semi truck in there.
That's right.
That's what I'm looking for.
There's like a delivery looking
That
truck.
one.
Yeah,
Where's it at?
Oh, the little delivery truck.
it's there.
Yeah, it's in the longhouse on
There it
oh
is.
gosh, you got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. There's a semi right there.
But man,
That'll work.
Oh, hot dang. There it
some
is.
articulated Lori. Damn, someone.
Someone put in real effort. All right,
You in a trucking Discord?
grab some snips.
I was shocked. I was rolling down for a split second. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yep. All right, and
I
then
want to clarify again.
yes,
We are voting as our characters, correct?
yes,
For this?
yes, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Oh man, I need to get these like little emojis into this screenshot I'm about to toss up. All right. Say.
Whoa, Vinton, you didn't put anything into medical?
No, I did. I put. There's a 1 in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
There should be a 1 in there. It just,
Yeah, there's no one in medical.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on a second. Let's get you righted out. Vincent, what did you want in garage? Because I'll just change it. Garage and armory.
apologize, everybody. All right, so garage 2,
Okay. Armory.
2,
Living space.
nothing in it.
Communications.
3,
Okay. Physical security.
1,
Okay. Digital security.
0. Add it.
Yep. Engineering. You wanted 1 in engineering?
Yeah.
Okay. Medical. Medical.
Thought I had 1 in medical. Didn't show.
We can put 1 in medical and then take 1 from somewhere else.
And
There's also
then,
nothing
yeah,
in maintenance on Vinton's.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got that.
Take drop scouting to 1.
Okay. Whoops.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Or 11.
No. Yeah. It's so weird. Where's the power plant? There we go. Boom.
And I think I figured out why I was getting so confused. I thought we had 27 total, 20 something.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, why am I getting this so wrong in my head?
Why is it not letting me edit this one thing? Are you editing right now?
No, I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, it's not letting me edit this last thing. Oh, Legend Keeper. All right.
We have found it's breaking.
Yeah, 4, 5,
It's off. If you add
Nine.
scouting, it's still off.
10. Yeah, so we still need to get 1 more. If we are going to include 1 into scouting, we need 1 more to come out of something else.
Don't worry about it.
All right, so we're going to leave it as is. All right, cool. So let me grab a new screenshot. New. Boom. All right, grab that, save that. All right, I'm going to toss that into the red budget.
Last minute plans.
Yeah, man. All right. Okay. Where did I put that? I guess I'm just going to put that. I was going to try and get those emojis at the top of y'all's thing, but I think everybody's kind of figuring out which is which. Oh, here it is. Spray gun for Silas plan. For plan. Boom. All right. Cool. Okay. All right. That is the last of it on that. I think the family plan was going to be the toughest thing for us to get through, just because there's so much detail in there. But that pretty well covers, yeah, the base getting bigger. Y'all definitely want more cars. That's for fucking sure. More in armory, comms, all that good stuff. Okay. Cool. All right. Anything else? Silas, Vinton? Anything else? Crew?
I think like plot-wise, Silas is going to be gone for a little while. I think we've talked about.
Yep. So Silas is going to go on a bit of a walkabout after this. So we're not going to see Silas for some amount of time, and you will tell us when he comes back.
Do we have to figure out how long that is supposed to take?
Yeah. You and I will figure that out.
Yeah.
Okay. I have the other updates for you all. Before I get into the other updates, any other comments, questions, thoughts, or anything else? Okay, cool. So big update on family relocation plan. Not going to do it because we've already got the thing going to Sacramento. The alternative to going to Sacramento was either stay here or go down towards the other town that needed a bunch of water. And that is being abandoned because we're going to go up to Sacramento. And there's just not enough time to do both. Let's see here. Family weapons policy, because we are both of you put in for better armory, we can at the very least ensure that submachine guns and assault rifles and other high rate of fire guns are okay to leave in the armory. Maybe yes or maybe no on explosives in the form of hand grenades. So those are things that y'all can keep in the game. Or keep in the camp, in the armory. We also have a question around Prosper and what happened to the town of Prosper. So if y'all remember, Prosper had asked for some help. The crew showed up when they were in the middle of getting fought by the Leathernecks. Y'all drove the Leathernecks off and left in its place a comms tower, right? So you left the comms tower that you boosted from Petrochem. You left that there for Prosper to use, which, hey, great thing at the time, opened up a lot of lines of communication. Y'all had some good rapport building with Prosper, and then they started calling for help, and y'all couldn't answer that call. Prosper met the same fate of Bigfoot Tribe, where Petrochem showed up needing their equipment. This, though, went different. Because it was one, just a single piece of equipment. Two, Prosper already had enough problems. And so when Petrochem showed up with violence, Prosper kind of rolled over and didn't fight back or any of that kind of stuff. So actually had minimal casualties. and getting the comms tower taken back from them. So maybe there was a couple of people wounded, maybe even one person died, but it's not anything like what happened to Bigfoot Tribe, because the nature of what they had and how they got it and how not really attached to it they just didn't put up much of a fight. So Petrochem has their comms relay back from Prosper, and Prosper is still, as far as y'all know, still standing. The Leathernecks are out there. The Leathermans are still out there. They're a problem, but as far as y'all know, Prosper is still a functioning town, and you can still consider them allies. They don't really blame you for the tower. They, quite frankly, just figured, Petrochem saw it and wanted it. They don't actually know that it was that you had handed them Petrochem property that they were then tracking. So they just figured that Petrochem was taking what they knew the town couldn't keep, kind of thing. So
Cool.
So that's what's going on with Prosper. The tribe isn't doing much with them, but they remain a contact for you all at whatever level that left with. It's harder to get a hold of them obviously now, but they're still out there. Other things to follow up on regarding that shit. Oh, even the medium range equipment that was sold to that booster gang down in Night City, even they had a visit from Petrochem. Didn't look like it was so much in the form of asset recovery as it was y'all got contacted by them, and they're complaining that all the medium range radios and stuff that they were using, all of that shit just doesn't work anymore, and they don't know why. But y'all suspect that Petrochem did something to brick all of that communications equipment.
Y'all, we do not want to mess with Petrochem. This is bad.
Let's stop selling stolen shit. How about that?
I also agreed.
Where's y'all's sense of excitement? We're bad guys.
No, we're not.
Sense of excitement is overruled by our survival.
It's just... it's Petrochem, right? They got back doors and all that kind of stuff. They don't have a Rune Weaver watching the comms equipment to make sure that it's digitally protected. So it was not going to be too tough for Petrochem to turn that comms network into a pile of bricks.
If Blue had a grave, she'd be rolling in it now, y'all. Come on.
So they don't like y'all. They think y'all sold them a pile of Gosa, but yeah, but they're not going to go to war over it. They're just like, oh man, we got jacked. They had a few weeks of use out of the things before they went down. But yeah, so that's the full wrap on the Petrochem gear before, that y'all know about. Trying to think of other things that would have filtered back to the tribe before we begin chapter 2. Hitchens is doing very well. So y'all have been helping out Hitchens quite a bit. In a sense, y'all have also advanced Hitchens's track quite a bit with the bug you placed in the police department or in the city hall, and all the deals y'all have made with Hitchens have gone really well. For Hitchens and you all. So you all now have a standing discount with Hitchens, and any cybernetics or cybernetics surgery that she would do for y'all is all at a discount now because of the successes you've had with Hitchens.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Personal question: how'd the street race go with that contract go that we could never do?
Oh yeah. So
Ben's like, how'd that go?
Yeah, so because the Midnight Runners didn't show up for the Tower Hydro deal, that contract ended up going to the tribe y'all know as the Lobos Phantasmos, the Ghost Wolves.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was kind of interesting. Like, a couple of nomads showed up to do that. Some guys in like war barges, big rigs with a lot of armor and guns. And Lobos Phantasmos showed up with a bunch of people and donkeys. And literally went straight over the mountains while all the nomads fought each other and blew each other up and fucked each other up. They just, filtered into the woods and then emerged where Tower Hydro wanted them to deliver the goods. And so they have the contract. And they're doing it all on horsepower. Donkey power, really.
Good on them.
God, they're so cool. Why are they cooler than us?
They have their way of solving problems.
Cooler than us. We need donkeys. How many budget points for some burros?
No, that is not y'all's. That's not your ethos. You're not set up for that. I'd have to add a line in here for like animal keeping. Beyond the curry goat that you have. You have a curry goat. Yes. Yeah.
This is how Blades in the Dark starts, right here.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That might be novel. Like, you don't have a bunch of donkeys, you have like an armada was worth of goats. And so the trick is to keep them from eating the goods as they traverse. So yeah.
We can use goats to transport our razor ball equipment.
Yes.
There's curry goat and ramen goat and pad thai goat.
Yes, exactly. So let's see here. There's a bunch of questions in chat. Some of these chat questions I cannot answer because those are ongoing problems that the tribe has not learned how they have been solved. Players, do y'all have any other threads that you want to tug on?
What about our sugarcane and the blueberry diner or the blueberry pie diner place? Yeah,
so the blueberry pie diner place over in Bricktown, they're doing great. Or Brickertown, they're still doing their thing. I sold your sugarcane. So in that big bundle of points y'all had, one of those points was selling that sugarcane to highfalutin buyers down in Night City. The tribe is really not set up to grow sugarcane, and so it was we'll just sell it, so it's at least going to give us something. And that was then turned into medical supplies or better comms relay or whatever. So it just became family budget.
What about the lady with the dog?
Lady with the dog.
The Petrochem.
Oh yeah. Oh guys, I mean that whole relationship's all fucked up, right? I mean, y'all sold her back the gear, and then that team was schwacked by Meta Tribe. I have not yet dropped the shoe on the Meta Tribe relationship yet, but suffice to say, y'all are on real thin ice with her because it cost her a lot to get that stuff back from y'all, and she had to pay for it kind of again because she had to send another crew out to get it. And y'all didn't take her up on her deals, right? She put out some deals that y'all could have done to help Petrochem out. Y'all didn't take those up. So that relationship is there, but it's on thin ice. So if y'all want to have better relationships with her and Petrochem, y'all need to do more to make Petrochem happy.
Yeah, maybe we should not piss them off anymore, guys.
Why is it? Why
Seconded.
Spring and Pat. Why do you think it's us? It's people outside of us. We're just in the vicinity of when things go sideways.
Yeah.
That seems to be a problem, Vincent.
What's great about this is that's found loot. That's legit salvage. But Petrochem had the means to seek to recover that salvage, and then they did so, right? Either with treasure or blood, and they did their deal. Yeah, and chat, the deal is when they went to Little Asia to figure out what's going on with a bunch of missing pets, there was this really high value dog that they were asked to rescue, and they did so. They found the dog, or what happened to the dog, rescued it, returned it to its owner, and that started the whole Petrochem relationship that, frankly, guys, got y'all out of a lot of hot water that you didn't even know was coming. So that was some real good benefit there for the team.
See, sometimes dealing with the devil pays out.
Yeah, if y'all didn't sell the gear back to them, y'all were gonna get hit too, right? And y'all would have been like, "Hey, we're gonna go do this mission," and it's like, "Cool." Y'all wake up, there's explosions, there's shit going on outside. What do you do? And that would have been the mission: is the attack from Petrochem. But y'all found a way to dodge that bullet, so good on you. And yeah, I'll have to hit you with that one later. Some other deal. So yeah.
Confident going up into the Donner's Pass, probably right before winter hit. Probably still snowing hard. Awesome.
Yeah, so we are going to begin, I want to say it's April in game. So, yep, we're starting, month 2 is going into April. I think I've wrapped up all the stuff that I know about. Any other questions? Okay.
We're going up Donner's Pass. We have to dig for their money, though, because they had a shit ton of money laying around somewhere.
Oh, yeah, so chat, the bug zapper remains an open item. We need some net runners to bandy together and decide they want to take on the bug zapper. The bug zapper is really a net runner mission. When we first started this game, I seriously had like 4 net runners, and I was like, oh shit, I need to like come up with a thing that 4 net runners could do. And then a lot of them disappeared. So I still have Runeweaver.
Yeah, look, being a net runner gets kind of boring at times.
So Bug Zapper is still there and remains an open item that y'all can go back and take on anytime. I mean, it's part of the joy of the West Marches is there's all these little markers on the map, and at any point the crew can decide, hey, let's follow up with that marker and go check out what's going on over there. And that will remain an open item until it gets addressed. Really.
And you want some blueberry pie from the tin farmers.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I haven't experienced that yet.
Exactly.
Silas can tell you all about it.
Yeah.
No, I was there.
Yeah.
I was there for the live stream. I know what happened.
Off the Donner's Pass we go, guys.
That's right.
In my head, when I was
Let's
watching
go
that
freeze
live
that,
stream, I was like,
because
take all the
in
sugarcane,
April,
take all
in
the
real life,
sugarcane.
It's still snowing on Donner's Pass.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So this will be good. I'm really excited about Chapter 2. I need to obviously go in and fill in all the stuff around Sacramento, because that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with y'all basically being committed to Sacramento, and maybe there's going to be some scouting missions and that kind of thing, but I'm going to go through and build out all of the character sheets. So all of your little words on the street are going to reference that area and what you can bring to the table from out there. And then all of the tribe level missions that you all will be able to choose from are going to come from the Sacramento area, scouting, discovering, fighting, or investigating, or whatever it is that's going to happen in Chapter 2 as we go and find this missing train. I'm going to be filling all that in. So I think I'll need probably another week to get all that stuff in and on the schedule. So probably not this Saturday and Sunday will be our next Cyberpunk game, but the following Saturday and Sunday will be Cyberpunk game. So I'll get all that onto the scheduler and onto the calendar, and y'all can start picking which nights you want to play and which missions you want to go after. And in our Discord under in character, you can start talking about your words on the street and all that stuff. So I'll be populating all those things as it regards to Sacramento in that area. Kind of over the next couple of days.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
As long as we're heading up towards Sacramento, we can swing by San Jose, because I want to check some things out in San Jose on the way through.
Cool. Yeah, easy enough. And I can do some words on the street for you regarding that. Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to say that to the pack, because that's that's part of Runeweaver's focus is what's going on there.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Any other questions or thoughts, comments, concerns? All right. Awesome. I'm going to take silence as golden. Twitch chat, this has been great. I normally don't do a lot of downtime. I normally don't do a lot of stuff, but with the way that West Marches is and the fact that we're a nomad tribe and can move around the state and eventually the nation, I thought this was important for us to like do, all right, where are we actually going now? And I love the fact that y'all are leaving to Sacramento. That shit is hilarious to me, especially regarding some of the other like hanging items that are out here. So this is going to be really good. Lots of things happen, right? Because you're not going to be here, and that's going to be great. That's going to be great. And there's going to be a lot of things that y'all can do because you're going to be in Sacramento, right? Like that's, to me, we're having like cause at the world. We're having an impact on what's going to happen in this world of Cyberpunk. So super dope.
This is how we begin to build our empire.
Yes.
We
Yes.
will be the new clan.
Exactly. All right.
One day, take over Petrocam.
Shit. All right, stream. We're gonna sign off now. Thanks a ton, everyone, for tuning in. This has been awesome. Oh, go ahead.
Dave, I'm sorry. Can we raid a friend of mine?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's so great. Shoot me their thing.
Okay. DM.
Yeah. Either one. I guess over Discord would be fine. So we're gonna raid somebody. That's badass. And do I know who it is? Is it my bud?
No, this is one of my D&D friends.
Cool.
It's not a board game stream, but it's a friend of mine. So.
Yeah. Whoops. Gotta do it right.
Don't forget, Monday we're playing Tales from the Loop. Wednesday we're playing Blades in the Dark.
Yes, exactly. Oh, this would be cool. Oh, man. Nice. Yeah, nice and Mass Effect stream. This is good because Casey, you're gonna do a thing. I can't wait. So
yes, if this play test goes well, there might be one more person.
Yeah, awesome.
It just depends on how this play test goes for the next week or so.
Yeah. Oh, chat, you're asking about anything to the south. Yeah, LA is to the south. There's a bunch of stuff going on in the south, and there might be some more action going on there as this game progresses. So, like, my intention is for us to be fleshing out California, fleshing out America, fleshing out the world, right? All through the style of West Marches. That's not going to be all Midnight Runners. At some point, I want to bring on another GM to run a different location in the world and let them be fleshing out their West Marches game in this same world, and we like share notes about what's going on regionally and all that kind of stuff. So there's more to come as far as the world that we're building here in this game, and that's all exciting to me. I'm sorry, Casey, I completely cut you off, but
oh no, that's fine. No, I got the characters cutouts finished, and I'm 80% done with the story. So hopefully by the end of the night tonight, I'll have the story finished, and I'll talk to the ones that I've talked to about playtesting and see when they're available. Hell
yeah, dude! That's great. I'm pumped. So yeah, folks, we are going to raid. So fresh sales. Is that how you say that? Nice.
I call her Soph. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be great. All right, so we're going to raid them. This is going to be super fun. They're playing some Mass Effect 2, and, give them a follow and all that good stuff. Give them some love. And, yeah, we're going to hit the button right now. Oh, yeah. Have fun and play well. Deuces.
Oh, your rolls be crits.
Hey, you beat me.
All right, good times. Good times.
We did it.
Are we out?
We are out.